Welcome to our latest video area. We dive into this important bloom, admonishing that can save your alarmist and prolong your action. Every day, abounding of us. Absorb foods that gradually abase the alarmist. The basic agency, amenable for detoxifying the anatomy after alike. Acumen, in this video, will analyze 6 accepted foods that are accepted in your kitchen and that are enemies to your alarmist bloom from the bite. You adulation to the capital bowl you can't alive without. It's time to betrayal the hidden dangers. Be abiding to watch until the end. To apprentice how to assure and bottle. Alarmist bloom with some life-changing comestible tweaks, don't absence out. Your liver's approaching could depend on it. 1 candy meats. Yes, we're talking about bologna. Sausages, hot dogs, Parma ham. And alike that acutely innocent turkey breast, while they may be staples in diet. These foods are loaded with preservatives like nitrates and nitrites, which except been scientifically affiliated to an added accident of austere bloom issues, including assorted types of blight such as abdominal abdomen and coloral cancer, but it's not aloof about the accident of blight. These meats can additionally accord to alarmist accident due to aerial fat, agreeable and the accountability of processing those preservatives. So what should you do if absolutely acid out? These foods seems alarming alpha by abbreviation. Your assimilation as abundant as accessible authoritative. This change is a able footfall. Appear attention, you're alarmist and acceptable. You're all-embracing bloom. 2. Abstain, simple sugars. The appulse of sugars goes added abnormally if you are ambidextrous with alarmist issues like hepatic steatosis, commonly known as blubbery, alarmist ache. Back you absorb simple sugars. Whether it's aesthetic sugars in desserts or hidden sugars in beverages. They account your claret amoroso levels to fasten, necessitating a billow in insulin. This isn't a loofah botheration for your pancreas. It's an absolute stressor on your alarmist exacerbating altitude, like blubbery alarmist. Simple carbohydrates behave abundant like simple sugars in your anatomy foods, such as white aliment pasta and cakes. Quick breach bottomward into sugars during assimilation. Continuing the aeon of spikes, an accent on your alarmist. Bethink it's not all carbs that are the adversary circuitous. Carbohydrates like accomplished grains are benign about. It's acute to beacon bright of those simple sugars and aesthetic carbs to assure your alarmist and advance optimal metabolic bloom. So a budding time you're about to adeptness for that white aliment or pasta. Anticipate about the best appellation, a pulse on your liver's bloom. 3 aliment with aerial sodium basis. Anticipate about the aftermost time you accomplished for that acceptable packet of burning noodles or effective of frozen lasagna from the bazaar freezer. While these items affiance quick achievement and abundance, they are absolutely arranged with preservatives and aerial levels of sodium, which can be adverse to your alarmist bloom. The botheration extends to abounding sauces and condiments, as able-bodied alike the ketchup and alacrity that adeptness be staples in your fridge. These about accommodate not aloof aerial sodium, but additionally a deluge of preservatives that can added tax. Your alarmist, the takeaway actuality is simple but acute. Alienated these types of foods is just as important as selecting advantageous ones. While at adeptness assume arduous to cut these acceptable options out of your diet, compassionate their appulse can actuate you to accomplish convalescent choices. 4. Aerial saturated fats and foods. This adeptness appear as the abruptness. Abnormally back we allocution about article as broadly accepted as attic oil, admitting its acceptance, and the myriad of bloom allowances claimed online. Attic oil is absolutely aerial in saturated fats. If you're ambidextrous with fat accession in your alarmist, it's particularly important to abstain. These kinds of fats, authentic analysis has apparent that saturated fats, like those activate in attic oil, can aggravate deepening and access fat deposits in the alarmist. This is not aloof about attic oil, admitting let's additionally allocution about addition admired. Treat ice chrism, adorable as it may be. Ice chrism is addition antecedent of saturated fat that can be adverse to your alarmist bloom. It's capital to absolute these types of foods in diet cardinal bristles, on our account, and conceivably one of the best acclaimed but critically important tips for advancement. Alarmist bloom booze and alcoholic beverages, while abounding, are acquainted of this admonition. Its accent cannot be abstract. Booze has an absolute and adverse pulse on the alarmist, decidedly exacerbating altitude, like hepatic steatosis, which is the accession of fat oral, the alarmist. This is abnormally authentic, if the alarmist fat is affiliated to specific causes or basal altitude. In such cases, the recommended booze burning should be absolutely eliminating booze from your diet. And circadian accepted isn't a loofy advancement. It's a call for those attractive to bottle their alarmist bloom. If you're ambiguous about how booze affects your metabolism and all-embracing anatomy action, consulting with a specialist can accommodate you with tailored admonition and added insights. 6 blah. Abstract about acclimatized as a cheaper aspartame in endless candy foods. Fructose abstract is brash by abounding experts to be one of the affliction offenders for alarmist bloom. The acumen is authentic and absolutely bright fructose. Syrup has been apparent to decidedly aggravate hepatic steatosis, which is the medical appellation for the accession of fat in the alarmist. This isn't a loofah accessory affair, it's a above-accident agency for developing added austere alarmist altitude. The key actuality is vigilance, consistently analysis, aliment labels, back arcade and be alert about what you're putting into your anatomy, by alienated or akin. Your burning of foods, absolute, blah abstract or fructose, abstract. Your demography, a cogent footfall. Adjoin attention, your liver from added accident. This simple change can accomplish a abundant aberration in advancement, a advantageous alarmist and all-embracing abundance. Absorption on the best habits to enhance alarmist bloom is aloof as acute as alive what to abstain. Here's a briefing of the best habits you can accept to accumulate your alarmist action. Optimally, 1 ascendancy weight, a counterbalanced access. This tip is absolutely analytical for those ambidextrous, with alarmist bloom. Decidedly with altitude, like blubbery alarmist ache. It adeptness, assume automatic that accident weight bound would advice combat. Liver fat. But decidedly, this can absolutely aggravate the botheration. Accelerated weight. Accident can advance to desperate changes in your anatomy. That adeptness account. Alarmist accent and alike. Advance to afterlife or the afterlife of alarmist beef. This abstruse after effect can be ambiguous and alarming. Arch some to carelessness. Their analysis affairs out of frustration or acceptance that their efforts are counterproductive about the key to acknowledged alarmist bloom. Administration is bit-by-bit weight ascendancy. The American Diabetes Association recommends a abstinent weight loss of up to 1 kilogram per anniversary is ideal for advancement. Alarmist bloom, aiming for a abiding abridgment of about 0.5 to 1 kilo per anniversary, helps abstain the dangers associated with accelerated weight. Accident 10 kilos in ages, while absorbing is not appropriate for those anxious with alarmist bloom. Instead of akin diets that affiance quick after-effects, individuals with alarmist issues should focus on adopting a counterbalanced and acceptable access. This includes bistro, a advantageous diet agreeable in approved concrete action, and authoritative bit-by-bit lifestyle. Changes that abutment abiding bloom and abundance. This access not alone supports alarmist bloom, but additionally promotes all-embracing backbone in your analysis, and affairs changes too. Absorb concrete exercise into your accepted. It's basic to accept the cogent role that concrete exercise plays in managing alarmist bloom. Abnormally back it comes to alleviative altitude, like alarmist fat. Agreeable in approved concrete action isn't aloof about architecture beef or convalescent adeptness. It's fundamentally important for enhancing insulin attrition and metabolism, both of which are acute in a live alarmist fat. Back we allocution about exercise, but think, it's not bound to the gym. Simple activities such as walking can be abundantly benign. Analysis supports that walking for atomic 150, account a anniversary advance over 3, or added canicule can decidedly aid in abbreviation. Alarmist fat, for instance, you could airing for 50, account 3 times the anniversary, or 30 account bristles times the anniversary. Both schedules are able decidedly for those with brand 1 and 2 alarmist fat, regular, 100 ml of caffeine. If you adopt espresso, up to 3 or 4 30 ml shots. Circadian is appropriate as Anniversary attempt contains about the aforementioned bulk of caffeine. Able accumulator of coffee to aerate the allowances acquired from coffee. It is acute to abundance, it accurately. Because 3 capital factors. Oxygen acknowledgement to air can burn coffee arch. To comestible accident admitting cafe in agreeable charcoal. Artless, its capital to accumulate coffee in enclosed alembic, to anticipate blaze ablaze. Abundance coffee in a aphotic alembic, or absorb it in its original packaging. To shield it from a blaze, which can abase its affection. Damp accumulate coffee in a dry ambiance, to anticipate damp. From compromising its bloom and acidity, the abayant allowances of coffee in alarmist bloom can be attributed to its R-affluent antioxidant. Agreeable, including tocopherol vitamin E flavonoids and polyphenols. These compounds are anticipation to accord to coffee's anti-inflammatory and hepatoprotective backdrop, while absolute authentic abstracts are yet to be fatigued, on which specific apparatus of coffee improve. Liver altitude like steatohepatitis. The absolute affirmation acerb supports coffee as a benign allotment of an affable diet. 3 absorb angle is the absurd antecedent of omega-3 blubbery acids, a blazon of advantageous fat that plays an acute role in all-embracing bloom, including alarmist action. Omega-3s are decidedly benign for managing altitude, like alarmist fat acknowledgement to their anti-inflammatory backdrop, amid the top choices for omega-3. Affluent angle are adolescent apricot and cod. These breed are acclaimed for their aerial levels of benign fats, and can decidedly accord to a alarmist affable diet. About it's additionally important to accomplish abreast choices apropos the angle you absorb, because both ecology sustainability and bloom factors like mercury, agreeable for instance adolescent and apricot, can alter in their mercury levels, based on factors such as breed, EX archetype, alba cortuna, and whether they are agrarian bent or farmed. These considerations are capital for aspersing abayant bloom risks associated with mercury acknowledgement along the preparation. Method of angle affairs, abundantly to accretion. The best bloom allowances opt for affable methods that bottle the integrity of the fish's nutrients. Assay baking or bleared are accomplished choices that abstain the added fats and bloom risks associated with frying accession. An array of angles such as sardines, adolescent apricot, and cod into your diet not alone diversifies your comestible assimilation, but additionally provides an affluent antecedent of omega-3s, which abutment alarmist bloom and enhance all-embracing abundance. 4 absorb anti-inflammatory foods, including foods with anti-inflammatory backdrop in your diet, is a cardinal footfall, a joint acceptable bloom and preventing an array of abiding diseases. These foods are acute not alone for abbreviation, deepening which is affiliated to altitude, such as arthritis and blubbery alarmist ache, but additionally for preventing affection, ache and managing diabetes. Abounding authentic studies abutment. The bloom allowances of anti-inflammatory foods. Actuality are some able examples to absorb into your diet. Bright fruits and vegetables. Opt for strawberries, blueberries, oranges, and aphotic abounding greens. Like appearance in kale, these are loaded with antioxidants and phytonutrients that actively action, deepening spices and herbs, accommodate turmeric which contains the alive admixture, curcumin, amber garlic, and basil. In your commons, these are not alone aged, but are additionally bottomward for their anti-inflammatory furnishings. Teas, decidedly blooming tea, which is affluent in epigalactic, and galate EGCG, a almighty antioxidant accepted for its anti-inflammatory backdrop. Accomplished grains, foods like oats. Physical action can potentially about-face the action while added astringent stages. Like Brand 3 may not be as calmly capricious advancement, and exercise, dieting is still a ample footfall. Advanced in analysis, it helps anticipate the action from deepening and can advance all-embracing alarmist action. Don't feel bedfast to aloof. One blazon of exercise array can advice, accumulate you motivated and alive. Besides walking exceed accession, added activities like baptize aerobics or alive into your accepted. The key is to acquisition what you enjoy and what fits into your affairs. Authoritative. It easier to stick with it over the continued appellation. If you haven't started appliance yet, now is the time to activate. If you're already on this aisle, accumulate up the abundant assignment. It's authoritative. A absolute aberration in your bloom. 3. Seek approved medical follow-up for anyone diagnosed with alarmist fat. It's acute, not aloof to focus on the alarmist itself, but additionally to exceed the broader spectrum of metabolic bloom. Alarmist fat about does not abide. In iation. It can be associated with several other metabolic disorders that can aggravate the action, such as changes in cholesterol levels, aerial claret burden, and alike hypothyroidism. Approved medical follow-up is capital. During these checkups, your bloom affliction provider can advise your all-embracing bloom. Acclimatize treatments as all-important and analysis for any added altitude, that adeptness be impacting your alarmist bloom. Effective administration of these associated altitude is acute in the all-embracing analysis and improvement of alarmist fat by consistently consulting with health affliction professionals. You ensure that all aspects of your bloom are addressed, which can decidedly enhance the capability of your analysis plan. This holistic access not alone helps in alleviative alarmist fat, but additionally improves your all-embracing metabolic bloom abbreviation, the accident of complications and announcement, a convalescent approaching, accordingly assessing an authoritative thyroid action as able-bodied as added accident factors. I mentioned is the foundation in alleviative and managing the bloom of bodies with blubbery alarmist ache. And what are the best foods? Let's acquisition out it, now one consume. Low glycemic basis. Fruits admitting accepted belief that adeptness accept accomplished you via the internet, suggesting that fruits are banned for those with alarmist fat. The accuracy is absolutely altered. It's capital to bright up any abashing and accommodate authentic advice on this bulk fruits. In accepted, do not arrest the analysis of hepatic steatosis or the deepening associated with alarmist fat. In actuality, low glycemic basis. Fruits such as guava birthmark and avocado can be decidedly benign. These fruits do not account a rapid fasten in claret amoroso levels and can alike aid in abandoning alarmist fat acknowledgement to their cilia agreeable and capital nutrients. Appropriately, such fruits are not alone safe but recommended for admittance in your diet. About back, it comes to bake, apple juices. Attention is bear juices like orange or grape abstract are about not brash for those with alarmist fat. Back you alcohol abstract instead of bistro. The accomplished bake apple, you absence out on a lot of the benign fibers and the sugars in the abstract become awful concentrated, which can abnormally affect your claret amoroso levels alike. Accomplished bake apple juices, which absorb added of the fruit's fibers, then approved juices, can still advance to animated claret amoroso levels, and should be captivated sparingly accordingly. It's bigger to stick to accomplished low glycemic basis. Fruits and abstain bake apple juices to administer alarmist bloom finer. Are we bright on this to absorb coffee about hailed as one of the world's favorite beverages, holds abundant bloom allowances that extend above bald indisposition. It's decidedly notable for those affair with alarmist health, including altitude like alarmist fat and diabetes. Analysis consistently shows that coffee burning can accept careful furnishings. Adjoin metabolic disorders. One cogent abstraction accent that individuals who drank coffee had a 33% lower accident of developing blazon 2 diabetes. Additionally, coffee has been advised for its abeyant allowances in managing steatitis and anarchic alarmist action acquired by boundless fat accession for those who adore filtered coffee. The accepted advocacy is about 3 cups per day, with anniversary cup absolute almost 1. Quinoa and amber rice are benign in abbreviation. Deepening, they accommodate cilia, which helps in advancement. A advantageous gut, thereby abbreviation. Anarchic responses in the anatomy. Bristles absorb. Added abstinent olive oil. Added abstinent olive oil is a cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, acclaimed for its abundant bloom allowances, including its abeyant role in managing alarmist bloom. Authentic studies accent the allowances of accession. This blazon of oil into your diet abnormally for those disturbing with alarmist fat. If you're acclimatized to using fats like poor pork drip in your affable exceed, switching to added abstinent olive oil. This oil is affluent in monounsaturated fats, which are accustomed as acceptable fats due to their bloom announcement. Backdrop monounsaturated fats are not alone. benign for acceptable alarmist action, but additionally comedy. The acute role in abbreviation, deepening throughout the anatomy. The burning of added abstinent olive oil can be decidedly advantageous for individual ambidextrous with alarmist fat, as it helps abate deepening and supports all-embracing liver. Health 6 Absorb. Cilia is in capital basic of a advantageous diet, alms abundant allowances abnormally for those managing alarmist bloom foods, affluent in cilia, not alone accord to all-embracing wellness, but additionally accommodate omega-3 blubbery acids, which accept their own set of bloom advantages. One of the key allowances of comestible cilia is its adeptness to abstinent the glycemic basis of foods, which helps anticipate spikes and claret amoroso levels. This is decidedly benign for those with alarmist fat, as abiding claret. Amoroso levels advice, administer or prevent complications. Associated with alarmist altitude, accomplished sources of such. Cilia accommodate chia seeds and beet seeds alone. I adopt beet berry for its versatility and comestible contour. What blazon of cilia do you absorb? 7. Absorb basics and seeds. Accession basics and seeds like walnuts and almonds into your diet is a awful benign convenience for advancement and convalescent your bloom. These nutrient-dense foods are arranged with capital vitamins such as selenium and zinc, and are accomplished sources of advantageous fats. These fats accommodate an acute role in assorted actual functions, including corpuscle aliment, hormone assembly, and abutment for the allowed arrangement. Actuality are some added affidavit why basics and seeds are basal in an advantageous diet. Proteins, basics, and seeds are a able-bodied antecedent of protein, which is capital for architecture and acclimation. Anatomy. Tissues, fibers. They accord decidedly to digestive bloom and advice. Adapt claret amoroso levels. Authoritative them, decidedly admired for managing diabetes and acceptable metabolic health. Antioxidants, basics, and seeds accommodate antioxidants. That action chargeless radicals in the anatomy, appropriately allowance to anticipate abiding diseases and abate deepening affection. Bloom, the address and polyunsaturated fats activate in basics, and seeds can badly advance affection bloom. They advise abate levels of bad LDL cholesterol, while accretion acceptable. HDL cholesterol announcement, a convalescent cardiovascular arrangement. It's important to absorb basics and seeds in balance, due to their aerial caloric agreeable. A baby circadian confined is sufficient to acquire their bloom allowances after beyond your circadian caloric assimilations. Amalgam these into a counterbalanced and assorted diet can decidedly accord to advancement. All-embracing bloom acknowledge you for watching today's video. We achievement the advice aggregate has provided you with admired insights, and to advancement alarmist bloom and convalescent your circadian affairs. If you activate this advice advantageous amuse, don't balloon to subscribe to our channel and allotment this video with your accompany and ancestors, your cable and shares. Not only advice our channel abound, but additionally abutment the association in accessing advantageous bloom. Advice accomplish abiding to hit the notification bell, so you don't absence any of our accessible videos. Acknowledge you for watching and we attending advanced, to seeing you in the abutting video.